أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum everybody and welcome to today's lesson. I hope you all have your heads covered appropriately, you've signed in with your correct IDs and you are sitting in a nice quiet place and you have wudu and you're ready for today's lesson. In today's lesson, inshallah, we will be continuing with our recitation as per usual, and we have a new rule in focus which we will start in a moment. We will be continuing with the surah that we began yesterday, surah number 83. We will also have some hard words. Again, you covered some hard words yesterday, and we will have some more difficult words today that we will go over together, inshallah. So before we begin the lesson, if I could please have our first student for today's silent opening prayer.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum. Our first student is G2222.
G2222. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So we're going to start with this prayer here. We will start with Dawood and Tasmiyah, and then we will recite the prayer. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi zidni ilma.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي زدني علما.
Very nice. Be careful with this first ba. We don't want to elongate it for 2 seconds. Just 1 second. Rabbi. Rabbi. Good. Rabbi zidni ilma.
Rabbi zidni ilma.
Very good. Just make sure you don't elongate this. Rabbi zidni ilma. That was good. Well done. Okay, could you recite the translation for me, please? Oh, my Lord, increase me in knowledge.
Oh, my Lord, increase me in knowledge.
Good, Jazakumullah. Thank you so much, G2222. Thank you for your help. Allah Hafiz.
Jazakallah.
Okay, so in yesterday's lesson, you looked at waqf. Okay, you looked at a particular type of waqf and how to do waqf on a particular, when you have to stop. Remember, waqf means to stop, and how to do that when you have certain letters. Okay, so in today's lesson, we are going to be continuing with different kinds of waqf. Okay, let me just share the screen with you. Just a second. Just share the appropriate screen. Here we are. Okay, right, there we go. Okay, so yesterday we looked at if you had to do a waqf with a simple single stroke, a fatha, dhamma or kasra. In today's lesson, we are going to look at a different type of waqf, and we will begin that here. So, kinds of waqf. Here we go. You'll remember from all the previous times we've looked at this topic of waqf, which means to pause or to stop at the last voweled letter of a word by breaking the voice and breath during recitation. So that means stopping completely at the end of a particular word. Okay? So, next, pausing on a letter just after a letter of mud. Now, this is the rule we are going to be looking at today. When you need to pause on a letter which comes just after a letter of mud. And if you remember, there are 3 letters of mud. There is alif mud, there is ya mud, and there is waw mud. Okay? So, first of all, as it is written. So the word will appear as it would be written in the Holy Quran in Arabic, right? And then we are going to look at how we are going to read that particular word when pausing. Okay, how we're going to read that word when pausing, right? Now, the first thing we need to do when we're looking at a particular word is, as you can see, we need to recognize what the last letter is and what stroke is on the last letter. Okay, now you can see from here that the stroke on this last letter of this particular word, the letter is a noon, the stroke is a simple fatha, a simple fatha. Okay, now we know, because you've learnt this already, we learnt it from yesterday's lesson, that if there is a simple fatha on top of a letter, okay, and you need to make a pause there, right, that fatha will become a sukoon. The fatha will become a sukoon in order for you to pause. So in this particular case, we have a noon with a fatha, which then becomes a noon with a sukoon, noon sakin. Okay, this is step one. These are the things that you need to notice, okay, when you're about to make a pause, right? You need to notice these things, right? So we've noticed there's a noon with a fatha, right? We know that we need to make a pause here. We need to make a stop. Right? So we will need to turn that fatha into a sukoon, right? That is our first step. Noon with a fatha. Noon with a fatha, turns into a noon with a sukoon. Okay, and that's our first step. That's the first thing we need to notice. It's the first thing we need to notice. Now, we then go to step two. Now, in step two, we need to look at something else. In this particular lesson, like I just said, we are looking at mud letters, letters of mud. Now, as you can see here, we have a ya with a sukoon on top. The previous letter has a kasra underneath. So this ya here is a ya mud. A ya mud. Okay. I hope everybody can see my arrow, discipline in charge. Can you see my arrow? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Yes, excellent, good. So we can see this qaf with a kasra. We can see a ya with a sukoon. This means this is a ya mud. Okay. Over here, we are changing this noon with the fatha into a sukoon. We are not changing the ya. Okay, the ya is still there, right? So we need to make note of that. This is very important. We need to make note of this, right? We then move on to step three. If you have, and as you can see, we've got our next line here. If you have a letter of mud, okay, which comes before the last letter, where you need to make a stop, you need to prolong that sound for 2, 4, or 6 seconds when making a stop there. 2, 4, or 6 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to recite both words just so that you can hear how I'm going to recite them. So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. As it is written, if you are not doing a waqf, if you are not making a stop. Lil-muttaqina. Lil-muttaqina. Now in pause. Lil-muttaqin. Now, you may have noticed I prolonged for 4 seconds. You can prolong for 2 seconds, or 4 seconds, or 6 seconds. Okay? Lil-muttaqin. Right? Good. So, let's go on. Now, in this case, as you can see, in the previous case we had a ya mad. In this case, we have a waw mad. How do we know it's a waw mad? The previous letter, which is a qaf here, has a dhamma on the top. Okay, the previous letter has a dhamma on the top. That's a waw mad. Again, the last letter is a noon with a simple fatha. That is how this word would be written in the Quran. Now, if you need to make a stop, it's a simple fatha. It turns into a sukoon. Simple fatha changes into a sukoon. Okay, simple fatha turns into sukoon. Right? So we know that. That's step 1. You've got a fatha, you have to stop, it turns into a sukoon. Next, step 2. What do we need to notice in step 2? We have the waw mad, like we just said. Okay, waw mad here. Right? And we know with the waw mad, we need to elongate this for 2 seconds. Okay, so we have to recognize that there is a waw there, a waw mad. Right? Then we move on to step 3. Okay, which is to prolong that word for 2, 4, or 6 seconds again. Now I'm going to recite it to you. If we were reciting in continuation, it would be yunfiquna, yunfiquna. Okay. Now, with a waqf, with a stop, I'm going to hold that and prolong it for 4 seconds. Right? ينفقون ينفقون. Right? Step 3. Okay, so there's 3 steps you need to recognize. Prolong the sound for 2, 4, or 6 seconds. Right. Good. Now let's go on to our next word. Okay, now here, as it is written, you can see an alif mad here. You can see a sin with a fatha, with a kasra underneath. Now, it's a simple stroke. It's a simple kasra, which means it will turn into a sukoon. Right? It will turn into a sukoon. Right? So step 1, that's what you need to know. Simple kasra. You're doing a waqf. You're making a stop. You're taking a break in your breath. You have to make that into a sukoon. Right? So that's the first thing you need to notice, right? Then after that, you come to step 2. Step 2 is to notice that the letter before this scene is what? It is an alif mad. How do we know it's an alif mad? Because the noon here has a fatha on the top. It's a blank alif, so we know that if the letter has a fatha on the top and that's followed by a blank alif, that's a letter of mad. An alif mad. Okay, so we know it is a letter of mad. Right? So we've recognized that. Now we need to think about what we need to do next. What we need to do next is we need to go on to step 3, which is to make the waqf by prolonging the sound for 2, 4, or 6 seconds, which is what I will do now. Okay? I am going to prolong for 4 seconds. Let me read it as it's written. An-nasi. An-nasi. And now with waqf. An-nas. An-nas. Okay? So you prolong the sound for 2 or 4 or 6 seconds. Okay? That is what you need to remember when you see a mad letter before your last letter. Okay, and you can see all the words here. First one would be lil-muttaqeen. Lil-muttaqeen. Yunfiqoon. Yunfiqoon. An-nas. An-nas. Okay, good, excellent. Now, in today's lesson, we are very, very lucky because the surah that we started to cover yesterday As you can see, this is just highlighting what you need to look at when we come to a waqf. So the surah that we started to highlight yesterday has lots and lots of examples of this type of waqf. So we're going to, inshallah, get a lot of practice of how to do this type of waqf when you have a letter of mad, which you also have to think about, right? So let's go back to our lesson. Okay, that's our starting dua. And let's go back to our, just a sec, let's go back to, right, from here. Now, let me show you a quick example, and this is something that all of you will know, so then it will make a lot more sense to you, inshallah, right? So, as you can see at the beginning of the surah here, over here, okay, we have what we recite at the beginning of every single surah, apart from one. Okay, we have Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now we've put a sukoon on this meme. Although it is he-me, we are making a stop there. Okay, so it's a simple kasra here. We've put a sukoon on the meme in order to make a stop, and we've elongated and prolonged this sound. And we can prolong it, like I said, for 2, 4, or 6 seconds. Okay, and you've often heard this, so it should make sense to you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay, so that's just an example of how we would do this. Now, where we're going to start today, where we're going to begin today is from here. And what you can see here is, again, we have our last letter which has a tanveen of dhamma on top. Now, you've looked at the waqf of tanveen of dhamma, and you know that it's the same as with a simple stroke. So this tanveen of dhamma will turn into a sukoon. Tanveen of dhamma, or here, for example, tanveen of kasra, this turns into a sukoon, just like the simple stroke of fatha, dhamma, kasra. Okay, so here in this example, you can see, again, we have a ya mad after the jim. So for this example, it would be sijjeen. Okay, now I did that for 4 seconds, but when we're reciting, you are welcome to do that for 2 seconds or 4 seconds or 6 seconds. Okay, whichever is easier for you to do. So we're going to begin with our first student on the mic, please.
Yes, our first student is G2232.
2232. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So we're going to begin with tawuz and tasmiyah, and then we're going to start recitation here. Okay, just a couple of questions, which I will ask you quickly after you've done your tawuz and tasmiyah. Okay, with your tasmiyah, you can see here how to elongate and prolong that last sound. Okay, yeah. So have a go at that as well. So off you go.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice, very good, well done. Okay, so here in this particular ayat here, let's see. Okay, can you tell me what this letter is? Something special about this letter?
It's a dal.
It's a dal with a sukoon, which makes it what type of letter?
Is it a jerking letter?
Excellent. Qalqala, jerking letter. Very good. So how would this be pronounced?
Da.
Ad. Ad. Good. Well done. Excellent. And let's see. Okay, here. What kind of meme is this?
A meme with a shadda.
Good. Well done. It's also known as a meme gunna. So when you join to this, how long will you hold on the meme sound for?
2 seconds.
Brilliant, well done. And over here. Okay, so we have here, we have a lam with a tanveen, right? And then we have a ya over here. Okay, so how are we going to say this sound?
Li.
Okay, so we have tanveen of dhamma, which you then need to join to a ya with a shadda on top. So you need to make a nasal sound, okay? So it would be Waylun yo.
Waylun yo.
Excellent. Very good nasal sound. Well done. Good. Okay, let's begin here then. Okay, I'm going to recite and then you can recite after me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما أدراك ما سجين
وما أدراك ما سجين.
Beautiful, very good. كتاب مرقوم.
كتاب مرقوم.
Very good, excellent. Again, waw madha here. So we know that we need to prolong this sound for at least 2, 4, 6 seconds. You prolonged that really nicely. Well done. Waylun yawma'idhin lilmukazzibin.
ويل يومئذ للمكذبين.
Good effort, excellent, well done. Now, here we have a dal and we have a tanveen underneath, right? The next letter is a lam mushaddad, a lam with a shadda on top. Now, again, this is idgham, this is assimilation, right? We are going to join the dal straight to the lam without the noon sound. So it's dhillil.
ذلل.
Good, well done. So you just imagine there is a single kasra there right now, okay? Dhillil mukazzibin.
ذل المكذبين.
Very good, well done. Let's start that ayat again. Waylun yawma'idhin lilmukazzibin.
ويل يومئذ للمكذبين.
Really good effort, really good effort. So you just need to remember that when you have a tanween like this or a noon sakin, okay, and the next letter is a lam or a ra, that you have to imagine there is just one stroke there and you will not make the noon sound, okay? You will join directly. Dhillil, dhillil mukazzibin. Okay.
ذل المكذبين.
Very good effort. Jazakallah. Thank you, G2232, for your help and participation. Allah Hafiz.
Could my brother G2231 read?
Let's ask if he's on the list today, discipline in
Yes.
charge.
Yes.
That's fine. So that was G2231.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Fine.
Good. Are you understanding the rule okay?
Yes.
Excellent. So if we start with Tawud and Tasmiyah, and then we'll recite the verses.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, good. So again, I'll just remind you again that when we have Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, it has to be at least 2 seconds, or you can go up to 4 or 6 seconds. Okay, so it has to be prolonged. The sound has to be prolonged because we're making a stop there, a vaqf. Okay, right.
Okay.
So let's go on to this verse here. Now, over here, let's see again. We have a simple noon here at the end. We have a ya mad here. So could you tell me how we would pronounce this last section?
بيوم الدين.
Beautiful. Biyawmiddin. Very nice. Excellent. And let's go on to this one. Let me just see here. Right here. Let's go here. How would we pronounce this last section to do a vaqf here?
Theme.
Very nice. Theme. And you made it longer than the 2 seconds. That was really good as well. Excellent. Right, so let's begin from here. I'm going to start first and then you follow me afterwards. الذين يكذبون بيوم الدين.
الذين يكذبون بيوم الدين.
Very nice. Excellent. Let's do it once more. الذين يكذبون بيوم الدين.
الذين يكذبون بيوم الدين.
Very nice. I really like that you put pressure on the shadda letters here and you really focused on hardening those sounds. That was really good. Well done. Let's go on to the next verse. وَمَا يُكَذِّبُ بِهِ إِلَّا كُلُّ مُعْتَدٍ أَثِيمٍ.
وما يكذب به إلى كل معتد أثيم.
Good effort. Excellent. Well done. Let's break it down a little bit. Okay. So, وَمَا يُكَذِّبُ.
وما يكذب.
Good. وَمَا يُكَذِّبُ بِهِ.
وما يكذب به.
Good, well done. Remember, this is elongated for about at least 3 seconds, okay? When you see this stroke here, right? إِلَّا كُلُّ.
إلا كل.
Good. Let's start from the beginning. وَمَا يُكَذِّبُ بِهِ إِلَّا كُلُّ.
وما يكذب به إلا كل.
Very good. Now, what you need to be careful of, and the first time you recited as well, you did this, is not to elongate this ba. Okay, and it's very easy when we're, especially when we're going in flow and we're trying to create a rhythm in our recitation, that we elongate the simple strokes, the single second strokes. Okay, kadhibu. Okay, kadhibu bihi. It has to be short there. Okay, let's carry on. Mu'tadin.
معتد.
Good. Mu'tadin.
معتد.
Okay. Because the next letter is alif, what kind of letter is this? Where does this letter come from? It's a letter of the
Throat letters.
throat letter. Excellent. Which is why we make a sharp noon sound. Din. Yeah, we don't make a nasal sound here. Good. Mu'tadin athim.
معتد أثيم.
Athim.
أثيم.
Good. Very good. Well done. Let's try that whole verse once more. Okay. وَمَا يُكَذِّبُ بِهِ إِلَّا كُلُّ مُعْتَدٍ أَثِيمٍ.
وما يكذب به إلا كل معتد أثيم.
Very good. Excellent. Really, really nice recitation. Well done, G2231. Just a reminder that this stroke here means that you have to elongate. Remember, this is a mud, right? Just like here, we have to elongate for at least 4 seconds, and over here we have to elongate for at least 3 seconds. Okay, good. Well done. Jazakumullah for your help. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, good. If we could have our next student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2104.
G2104. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good.
Excellent, good. Are you understanding the rules okay for today?
Yes.
Excellent, good. So we're going to start with Tawud and Tasmiyah. I will recite the verse and then you will recite after me.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice, good. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Right, so here, where we're doing the Waqf, can you just say to me how we will say this last sound, this last letters?
Lean.
Very good. So at least 2 seconds, it can go up to 6. Okay, well done, good. Right, and let's see the next line. Can you tell me, right, over here, we have a meme with a skun, then we have a meme with a shadda. So how will we pronounce this here?
Be mimma ma.
Good, well done. You have to elongate because you've got an alif madda there. So this meme, this is assimilation, remember? So we will forget about this meme and we will join this ha straight to this meme with the shadda. So bihimma with a 2-second nasal sound because this is a meme gunna. Okay, bihimma. Okay, let's begin with our recitation. Just make sure you're following all the rules as we're going through as well. Okay. إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين.
إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين.
Very good effort, excellent. Okay, let's break it down slightly, right? So from here we have إذا تتلى عليه.
إذا تتلى عليه.
Good. آياتنا.
آياتنا.
Good. Let's try that all together. إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا.
إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا.
Good effort. Good. Let's carry on. قال. قال أساطير.
قال أساطير
الأولين.
أولين.
Okay, let's try that once more. قال أساطير الأولين.
قال أساطير الأولين.
Good effort. Well done. Good effort. So what I want you to do is I want you to remember 2 things here. One, this is a qaf, which is, remember, a thick letter. So we need to make a round mouth at this point. Okay. And again, this ta is also a thick letter, but we need to elongate this for 2 seconds because of the yamad. Ta, ti. Okay. So just keep practicing that and you will inshallah be able to recite the entire verse together. Okay, it does take time because that was quite a long verse there. Okay, so just keep practicing that verse. Okay, Jazakumullah, thank you so much for your help. Allah Hafiz. Okay, good. Right. Okay, so we'll just hold the recitation there of the Quran for 1 second. Now, in yesterday's class, we began with the teacher yesterday some words which sometimes can be considered hard words simply because of the way that you need to try to join all the letters individually and then put all the letters together to create one word. And sometimes there's two joinings in there, or the sounds are very unique. So it can make a little bit more testing. Okay, so if we could have a student on the mic, please, to do the hard words of the day.
Yes, our next student is G2226.
2226. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, 2226.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah, and you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. Are you understanding the rule of the day okay today?
Yeah.
Excellent, good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over these words here. Okay, these three words on the screen. So if you could start with tawud and tasmiyah, and then we'll break these down and we'll begin these.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Lovely, mashallah. Very, very nice vakf at the end there. Well done. Okay, so we're going to begin with this word here. Now, we can see there's 4 letters, right? But there are also 2 shaddas here. Now, this is a sad, which we know that is a thick sound, so we need to round on the mouth to say it. This is an ayn. We know that comes from the middle of the throat. It's a throat letter. Okay, so we need to work really slowly, and we need to try and say this word, making all the sounds clear, but joining correctly as well. Okay, so I'm going to say it once, and then you have a go, and then we can break it down if necessary. Okay, so yas'adu, yas'adu. Okay,
يصعد.
very good effort. Yas'adu.
يصعد.
Good. So we don't want to elongate this ayn sound because it's just a simple stroke, but we do need to make sure that we say the sound. Okay. Yassa is first sound. Yassa. Can you do that?
يصع.
Good. Yassa.
يصع.
Good. Now we need to join the sa to the ayn. Yassa.
يصع.
Good. Very good. From the throat. Then we've got a fatha on top of the ayn, so we need to make that sound as well. Yassa.
يصع.
Very nice. And then simple at the end, do.
Do.
Yassa. Do. G2226. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, you went there for a second. So once more with this first word. Yassa. Do.
يصع. يصع. Do.
Very good. Yassa. Do.
يصع. Do.
Very nice. Well done. Okay, next word here. Now, as you can see, there's a ha with a shadda on the top. Okay, the next letter is dal with a sukoon, but the letter after the dal is a ta with a shadda. Now, this means that this letter with the sukoon here, where's my highlighter? We are not going to recite. So we are going to join this ha directly to the ta over here. Okay. Why is my highlighter not working properly? Okay, so we are not going to say this letter in the middle, right? So we're going to join the ha directly to the ta. Now the ha, remember, is a letter of the throat, and it comes from the bottom of your throat. So it's the ha which comes right from the bottom of the throat. Okay, so we need to make that sound very clear. Let's do that first. Mah.
Mah.
Very nice. Now we need to join the h to the t. Okay, mahat.
Mahat.
Good. And then the ta has a dam on it. Mahattu.
Mahattu.
Very nice. Good. Right from the bottom of the throat. Mahattu.
Mahattu.
Good. Mahattu.
Mahattu.
Very nice. So we make sure in this one we do not say the dal. Okay, very good. Well done. Let's move on to this last one. Now, at first glance, you may think, okay, there's not so much joining in here. There's no shaddas, so why is it difficult? Actually, we have an ayn here, which is a letter of the throat, okay? And we have a ha, which is also a letter of the throat. The ayn is from the middle of the throat. The ha is from the bottom of the throat. Okay, so we need to be careful to make that sound, right? Eh. Eh.
Eh.
Right. So the ha is right at the bottom. Eh.
Eh.
Good. Well done. Let's say the whole word together. Kal ehni.
Qal ihni.
Good. So make sure the ha sound isn't coming from the middle. It's not the middle throat sound. It's the bottom of the throat sound. Kal ehni.
Qal ihni.
Kal ehni.
Qal ihni.
Good. Very good. Very good effort. Slight sound here, which is like it's coming from the middle of the throat, like the other ha, which, you know, the ha that looks like the jim. So we're going to make sure that we don't make that ha sound here. Kal ihni.
Qal ihni.
Very good. Excellent. So all students at home, please make sure you practice these words. Okay, they're not difficult once you've practiced them, but because there's lots of sounds which you have to put together, which might not feel very natural because you're using different parts of the mouth, different areas of your throat in order to make the sound, it's important that you really practice these so that you can grasp the concept really well. Jazakumullah G2226. That was really, really good recitation, mashallah. Jazakumullah for all your help. Allah Hafiz. Okay, excellent. So if we go back to our recitation, if we could have our next student on the mic, please.
Yes, next student is G2190.
G2190. Assalamu alaikum. G2190, can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Sorry, my iPad was lagging. Where was I supposed to read from?
Okay, I've put a marker here. Can you see?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. So if we start with Dawood and Tasmiyah, I'll recite and then you can recite after me.
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Okay, so remember with the Bismillah, the last sound where you're doing a vak, you have to elongate that for at least 2 seconds to prolong that. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Right, good. Okay, so we're going to start from here. I'll recite first and then you can recite afterwards. Kalla bal.
Kalla bal.
ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون.
ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون.
Very good, excellent. When you stop on the when you have a meme gunna, so make sure you make a nasal sound which should last for 2 seconds. Okay, bihimma, 2 seconds holding the meme, 2 seconds elongating because of the alif mada. Yeah, once more from here.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Rana ala qulubihim ma kanu yaksibun.
Very nice, well done. Make sure you don't elongate letters that don't need to be elongated. Okay, other than that, it was really good. Rana ala qulubihim ma kanu yaksibun. Once more. If we start from the beginning.
Oh, sorry. Kalla bal rana. Oh no, my thing didn't work. Sorry. 1 minute is loading. All right, there we go.
Okay.
Kalla bal rana ala qulubihim ma kanu yaksibun.
Really good, mashallah. Well done. Excellent. Let's move on to the next one. كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون.
كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون.
Very good. Excellent. Well done. Can you just say this letter for me once?
No.
Zal.
Vil.
Good, good. So the sound would be vil. So just make sure that you make sure there's no buzzing sound there. Yeah, good. Well done. Let's move on to the next verse. ثم إنهم لصال الجحيم.
ثم إنهم لصال الجحيم.
Very nice. Well done. Excellent. Really good recitation. Really nice melody. Really good sound. And you elongated properly where you were supposed to elongate as well. So that was really good. Jazakumullah G2190. Thank you for your help and participation. Allah Hafiz. Okay. If we could have our next student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2110.
Assalamu alaikum G2110.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, so if you remember, we're just going to go over this last one over here. If you remember, we have to do a waqf here. We have a noon with a simple fatha. What will that turn into?
A noon sakin.
Excellent, well done. And we have to look before the noon sakin. We have here a waw with a sukoon and a ba with the dhamma. So that is what? A waw.
A wow mud.
Brilliant. So how many seconds do we need to prolong this sound for when we stop?
2 seconds.
Good, at least 2 seconds. So it has to be 2 seconds, 4 seconds, or 6 seconds. Okay, good. So I'm going to recite and then I want you to recite after me. Okay, can you start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Beautiful, very nice, well done. Okay. ثم يقال هذا الذي كنتم به تكذبون. Me to break it down for you.
ثم يقال هذا الذي كنتم به تكذبون.
Excellent effort, really, really good. You tried to do that whole verse all by yourself, which was really good. Well done. Let's take it a little bit slower. Let's break it down into a couple of parts, okay? And just really focus on making sure every sound is correct. ثم يقال.
ثم يقال.
Very nice, excellent. Let's move on. ثم يقال هذا الذي.
ثم يقال هذا الذي.
Very nice, very nice. Let's carry on. كنتم به.
كنتم به.
Good. كنتم به تكذبون.
كنتم به تكذبون.
Very good. Shall we try the whole verse once together again?
Yes.
Excellent. ثم يقال هذا الذي كنتم به تكذبون.
ثم يقال هذا الذي كنتم به تكذبون.
Beautiful, really, really good recitation. Just this last section, that was the only place where I think, because there was a lot to say there. So it's tukadhi, not tukudhi. Okay, tukadhibun. Okay, so just work on that. Really lovely recitation. You made sure you broke it down. You broke down each section. You tried to make sure that was perfect before you moved on. And you corrected yourself, which was really good. And that's what you need to be doing. Jazakumullah G2 110. Really lovely recitation. Thank you for all your help. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay. Brilliant. Well done. Excellent, students. So, mashallah, we've today completed verse 18. We've completed verse 18 today. So, mashallah, we've got through quite a lot of this surah in this week so far. Okay. So, let me just quickly go over what we have covered. We have looked today at a waqf, which we know means a stop. Okay. A waqf, which means a stop. And if the letter before the last letter is a letter of mad, how we need to make that sound. And we need to know that for all mad letters that come before a simple last letter with a fatha or a dhamma or a kasra, or a tanween of dhamma or a tanween of kasra, when you make it into a sukoon, you need to elongate that, prolong that sound for at least 2 seconds or 4 seconds or 6 seconds. So for example, we have للمتقين للمتقين ينفقون ينفقون الناس الناس. Okay, and I want you please, for your homework, could you please practice this surah, Surah At-Takallum, which is chapter 85. Let me just check. Chapter 83. Okay, and make sure you read from verse 9 to verse 18, Surah At-Takallum. Right? Apply all the rules you know, please. All of the previous rules need to be applied, the ones we covered today, the previous ones, and please practice the hard words as well. Okay? The hard words which we practiced today, so that you really, really get a grasp on those as well. Yas'adu, yas'adu, mahattu, mahattu, kal'ihni, kal'ihni. Okay, please practice those as well. Okay, excellent. Now I'm just going to end with our final prayer for the day. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم. Oh, Allah have mercy on me through the Quran the Great. Jazakumullah to all the students, Jazakumullah to all the parents, and inshallah we will see you again tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.